Hello, denizens. So it, it looks like I was wrong about my hypothesis that Jaguar was pranking us with their latest attention-getting advertisement. Sorry, advertisement. There are so many things I want to talk about. I don't know where to even start. The reaction to my video, the reaction to others' videos, YouTube comment culture, the meat eaters out there, but perhaps it would make sense to start with the reaction of Jaguar's boss, Rodden Glover. Seriously, if I was going to come up with an alternative to Austin Powers' Dr. Evil, I don't think I could come up with anything more British sounding than Rodden Glover. Anyway, here's the headline in the Daily Mail. Jaguar boss hits out at vile hatred and intolerance after car fans turned on firm's wildly ridiculed woke rebrand. And the ridicule was massive. I make no apologies for my video where I assumed, wrongly it seems, that androgynous aliens dressed as Teletubbies sternly traversing a pastel planet was not Jaguar pranking us, trying to get our attention, at least. I honestly expected that the next ad would be some, older bloke dressed in a fox hunting gear with a Terry Thomas mustache casually, shooting at clay pigeons and ducks with hounds, going after the fallen carcasses, women in jodhpurs riding by on horseback with his, Ponzi son pulling up in a new Jag announcing that they were kidding. But no, that will not be the case. According to Mr. Glover, I had come to my conclusion, based on my 30 years of marketing experience, that this ad was a teaser to something and not an ongoing campaign. I still believe that to be the case, but the woke essence of this teaser, Glover claims, will persist. And the campaign would abandon what few Jaguar loyalists remain with no clear idea of who out there with cash would actually be attracted by this. It defied logic. And besides, the ad itself was a bad parody of a bad parody. Yet it looks like this is what 3 years of planning gets you. Yes, 3 years. I quoteth the Mail. Jag's big rebrand had been in development for 3 years as the company prepares to become an all-electric car manufacturer ahead of UK's 2030 target to stop selling new, purely fossil fuel-powered cars. Around 800 people are reported to have worked on the rebrand. 3 years and 800 people to come up with this. Frankly, I would have put them on the assembly line. Let's just briefly touch on the decision to bet the house on all electric. I'd like to mention that the German car manufacturers, after their dismal attempt at making electric cars and the audience revolting over them, have basically told the EU to go f*** themselves. Toyota eschewed electrics and made a bold bet on hybrids. They were vilified for it, and now they are rolling in cash. Proof that if you want to make a bet on marketing trends, always trust your government bureaucracy. Anyways, you can imagine my incredulity at Jaguar's rebrand and product shift. Let's go back to the article. In a new interview, he denied the rebrand exercise, which has ditched the iconic Growler logo of a big cat and replaced the imposing all-caps typeface with one that appears to read Jaguar, was meant to be a woke statement. This thing with the J and the R on it looks like a face powder container you'd find on the shopping channel, as far as I'm concerned. Mr. Glover denied that the firm was throwing away its near 100-year heritage with its most dramatic rebrand in decades, instead claiming the car maker needed to step away from traditional automotive stereotypes to find its place in the market. He said, "We need to re-establish our brand at a completely different price point, so we need to act differently. We wanted to move away from traditional automotive stereotypes." I'm sure that's not how he spoke. Mr. Glover says it's not intended to depict Jaguar's intended customers, but added, "We do need to attract a new customer base." But I can't for the life of me believe that Nobody there didn't anticipate the shellacking they've gotten. Their surprise at the reaction is probably more telling than anything else. Did they not foresee it, or was it the case of pronoun-enabled butt kissers afraid to mention it to the higher-ups? And truth be told, 99% of the people commenting on social media about this would never buy a Jaguar to begin with. The comment sphere is like quite a silly place, and in this case also did get vile, as Glover disappointedly mentioned. The comments on my channel were erudite and thoughtful, but if you read responses to Joe Rogan's tweet, they were filled with the usual meat eaters incessantly repeating Faguar. Sure, the first 10,000 times that was hilarious. Actually, not really. That was entirely unnecessary, juvenile, and demonstrated the nadir of this medium. I'd like to thank the adults who frequent my channel. The entire car market is in trouble. I can say with confidence that people don't want to be blitzed with technology in their cars. They hate it. There is going to be a massive backlash to this horrific era of the worst cars in the history of motoring. My son is a mechanic. You might have seen him on my channel. People are holding onto their analog cars. They are repairing 15, 20-year-old cars with normal gauge clusters that would never have happened pre-pandemic that can't be named. I've been in a bunch of electric cars, and while they are fast, and the Tesla Y is probably the gold standard, they are boring. It's hard to tell one SUV from another. We are living in the very worst age of automotive design. Has Jaguar factored in this wave of hatred of modern cars? And then there is this. The bit of car depicted online is expected to be a concept-only car that will never go on sale, instead acting as a preview of things to come. Jaguar's first real new car, a four-door Grand Tourer GT, will be on sale in 2026 and has already been tested in camouflaged prototypes on British roads. Once again, I asked, are they nuts? Jaguar has literally killed the sales of existing cars. Dealers all over the world must be fit to be tied. Doesn't the mother corp need cash flow till the new cars arrive? The one thing I've learned running several businesses is that cash flow is king. And if you look at this camouflaged prototype, it's just a car. Jerry McGovern, the car firm's design boss, said he wanted to create a jaw-dropping design that will shock, surprise, and polarize. But legacies and reputation aren't made exclusively by making unobtainable cars. As much as we might ogle Ferraris, Lotuses, and Lamborghinis, the Alfa Romeo 33 Stradale might be the most beautiful car ever made. I'm sure your new box on wheels will not match the Alfa Romeo 33 Stradale. The iconic cars were available to the masses, like the Mustang, Austin Mini, Challenger, BMW 2002, my son's 1970 Datsun 240Z still in pieces in some remote garage somewhere. There weren't really many, inexpensive Jaguars made, but you could get them cheap, used, like the stunning Jaguar 340 Mark II. There will never be a classic electric car. A friend of mine took a 1960 Jaguar E-Type, fixed the body, rebuilt the engine, replaced all the other parts that don't work on a Jaguar with Toyota parts, and is driving happily, reliably around in it. No matter what piece of junk electric car you come up with, Jaguar, no matter what homoerotic ad campaign you devise, no one is going to be tinkering with it 30 years from now in their garage to enjoy an outing on some winding roads. Jaguar has been on life support for a while. It's time to bid it adieu. Till next time, denizens, be seeing you.